for this week's episode of What the Fuck Did We Read?
We read Full Sack, a Thanksgiving erotica by Layla Faye. He can procure anything, his price to be paid on her knees. When Jennifer's cat falls ill, her only chance to save him is to find Raccoon, the elusive dealer in all things rare or impossible. Some call him a wizard because anything one asks for, he can give for a price, which Jen is ready to pay. Raccoon's secret power is her only hope, so she will gladly take his magic wand in her mouth and do as he says. Except Raccoon doesn't want her to kneel and open up. He wants to be Jen's date to her family's Thanksgiving. And Jennifer would rather choke on him and be done because if Raccoon keeps pushing, she might develop a case of feelings. He's just too perfect with that masculine physique, uncanny eyes, and a filthy mouth. Except Raccoon is not what he seems. And falling for a monster man with a sack full of magic is the last thing Jen needs.
The content note for this novella is that this is a work of fiction, just so people know. It is portraying unrealistic, unbelievable, ridiculous, over the top events and anatomy features. At one point, food is produced magically in the male protagonist's ball sack and expelled through his magic penis. Yes, you heard that right. All of that is what apparently this book is about. And then people eat that food. So, there's that. For spicy scene content, we have degradation, oral sex, a fur fetish, cherry popping, semi-public sex, magic sack tricks, and a toaster. You're welcome.
Welcome to the first special of November, and Ariel is already having a moment. And
No.
what a wild time this was. I have a point in this book that I was like, this was not where I thought this was going. Actually, there were a lot of twisted turns in this that I was like,
None of this is where I thought this was going to go.
I did not expect this book to go the way that it did, but honestly, I had a great time. It was a weird time, very weird, and I had to tell Spencer bits and pieces. I was like, I need to explain this to somebody before I literally lose my mind. So, just so you know, that's what's going to happen. You're welcome. Congratulations. Jennifer is trying to hush her cat, Mr. Pointy, and she is looking around nervously because she is currently in an alley. And this alley is super creepy. It is empty, but she still gets that like unpleasant itch between her shoulder blades as if someone is watching. And she is trying to calm the cat down, which, by the way, if you've ever tried to calm a cat down, you can't.
Well, we had a bearded dragon as a pet at school. It was part of a class pet experiment thing, but then that teacher left, so then it became like the office pet. And then it died over the summer because it was old. It was like we had gotten it like third hand or whatever. So we couldn't just start the school year with no freaking pet. And plus, the office lady loves that thing. So we got a baby bearded dragon. So now we have a baby bearded dragon. But she wasn't paying attention and she opened his cage today to do something and the thing fucking flew out and jumped and like launched himself out of the freaking thing and then wedged himself behind the file cabinet and we had to like use yardsticks to kind of like nudge him close enough so we could grab him. And this tiny baby, never seen anything like it. This tiny baby's like hissing at her or trying its best to because it's a baby. And I'm just like, girl, this thing is like feral right now. You are not fixing this. So sorry, that just reminded me of that. That was part of my day.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But she is just trying to tell him, like, yo, listen, it's a little bit more. Please, it's fine. She comes upon this rusty metal door with a spray painted image of a raccoon on it. She knocks on this thing, and all she could think about is that he was supposed to be available on holidays. Why is he not coming to this door? So she knocks again, and she just hears a voice saying, it's fucking open. She reaches for the doorknob, and her cat gives another pitiful meow, and she opens the door, and she just thinks, yes, we're doing this. As she enters, the man just says, no resurrection jobs. She stops and like looks around. And this room is just, it's a bare room with unfinished walls, tiny window, little light bulb hanging from the ceiling. She's taken a little bit aback and asks, "Why do you assume I came for that?" Raccoon's eyes were closed because he's literally not even bothering to look at her and just says, "Because if someone brings a pet to me, it's always dead. No one's desperate enough to come here if there's just a sliver of hope. So they wait until it's too late." Jennifer is at a loss for words. This was literally supposed to be super easy. She even dressed for the part. She is wearing a very tight, very short dress to the point that it keeps like sliding up her thighs a bit, and she has to resist the urge to pull it down. She had really hoped that dressing up like this would make it easier and maybe turn into like an adventure. Mr. Pointy, funny fucking name for a goddamn cat, by the way, makes a meow, and instantly I was waiting for you to do it and you didn't, and I
I
was a
know.
little
I know
disappointed.
there was a pause. I'm like, now I have to do it.
And instantly, Raccoon's eyes open, and his eyes are so yellow and they kind of glow and look a little bit out of like a sci fi movie. And he just exclaims, "It's alive. That changes things. What do you need?" Jennifer took a little bit of a step back because something about him made her want to keep her distance, which was strange because, he's tall, fit, but normally, like, this doesn't make her recoil. It had to be his eyes. Like, he is hot, by the way, just so your heads up. This man, hot, but like, the vibe. The vibes are vibing. She explains that her cat has cancer. It's inoperable. Mr. Pointy is literally only 3 years old, and she just needs a miracle.
Okay.
Raccoon asks, "Why not give him a peaceful death and get a new cat?" Jen is outraged at this, which honestly, I would also be outraged at this too. If there was like
It's
any
not a
form of
sweater.
yeah, if there was like any chance possible to like make my cat, who's only 3 years old, like live longer, I would do it. Jennifer, obviously, super upset. And she asks, "What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm not letting my cat die. It is not a purse that you can just like throw out." She just thinks that no one but Raccoon could help her. She'd already seen 4 vets and a shaman, and everybody had just told her to just make peace. Raccoon says, "Okay, can I see him?" Jennifer gets up and opens the carrier, and the cat just walks out, and he is weaving between Raccoon's legs and purring, which is crazy because her cat is normally super cautious and a little hostile, kind of like Ariel's cat.
Well, I thought you were going to
Sometimes,
say kind of like Ariel because I was like, yeah, it sounds legit.
are you a cat?
I mean, I have cat tendencies.
Yeah, but we're talking about like an actual cat here.
I recognize that, but
I don't think she does.
I still thought you were digging at me.
No, I was talking about your own cat.
Yeah, my cat's an asshole because he's my cat. We vibe pretty well.
Raccoon says, "I'll help you." Jen says, "So, like, okay, I know what your price is. I am ready. How do you want it?" And Raccoon just says, "When was the last time you sucked off a stranger?" Jen admits she's literally
That's
never
an
done
interesting
that.
question for anyone. I I almost want to know the answer for like anyone at that point. Like
Yeah, but what constitutes a stranger?
that's true because when my kid was in karate, they told us okay, our children were in karate.
Okay,
Um,
but I'll let you continue, and then I just need to explain to you why that was a wild sentence to talk about
I'm
after
getting
sucking
there.
someone's
I'm
dick.
getting there. They drilled in over and over again that a stranger was anyone that you don't know with like the same familiarity as like a family member or like somebody to that much. Like if you don't know somebody that well, they're a stranger. So they could still be an acquaintance, but they're still a stranger on that level of stranger danger.
Please never follow up a story about children after saying sucking a dick. Because I went,
I feel like you've done worse. I just want to say.
"When's the last time you sucked off a stranger?" "Well, what's a stranger?" "Well, in my kid's karate class." Ariel, I just needed you to understand. That's how that sentence went. And that's
Okay.
why I was like, Ariel,
My
bro.
brain went right to stranger, okay? Just the word stranger. Anywho,
Okay.
I would say somebody I don't even know their name, somebody I don't know anything about.
So
That's what I
that
would
I
constitute.
I have never done. But like a stranger would be like I if it's somebody I'm meeting for the first time, then it's obviously been years because I used to online
Yeah,
date.
if you're meeting for the first time, I think that's yeah. But I think stranger meaning like you don't know anything about this person. You can't probably even pick them out of a lineup. You like don't know their name. Like you don't even you
Yeah.
can't even like tell the police who they were.
I can't now.
At the time.
Jen admits she's never done that and that this is super fucking mortifying, but she really, really does need his help. He starts to slowly back her up to a wall. Raccoon even confronts her and says, "You put on this sleazy little thing. You put on it, came here, knowing full well you would have to suck my cock in exchange for my help.
She
And
was
now that it's
prepared.
time for payment, you balk? Sweetheart, this is not a place for blushing virgins." Jennifer eyes widen. She goes, "Oh, I am not balking. I will do it if you save Mr. Pointy. I will do anything." Raccoon just says, "Very good, because I don't want you to suck my cock for the price of healing animals is different. It's Thanksgiving. I am assuming you're visiting your family." And
Price
Jennifer's
for
like,
healing. Yeah.
"What a fucking change in subject this
What a
is."
segue. See?
She's like,
Just like the karate thing. Just a little different.
"Not even close." She says, "Yeah, I was actually planning to get out of our family's Thanksgivings because, like, our Thanksgivings are fucking horrible. We are a family of freaks," which I'm going to say partially correct. And she's like, "And it really comes to a head when we're all together and have nothing better to do than eat and fight. It's kind of a nightmare." So Raccoon tells her that his price is that he can't be with his family for Thanksgiving because everyone already went to his brother's and he has to stay. But it's so boring by himself. So she needs to take him to her family's dinner, introduce as her boyfriend, and let him have some fun. And in return, her cat will have a long, healthy life.
Girls just a woman.
Jennifer, of course, is like, "Can't I just like suck you off instead?"
I mean, fair.
A raccoon laughs and just says, "Maybe later, and definitely not as a payment. Do we have a deal?" And she agrees to seal the deal. And he just gives her a soft little kiss on the lips. And then Raccoon just says, "All right, let's go." Jennifer again is like, "What the fuck? I need to change first. I can't go looking like this. Also, it's still early and I would rather be late just so I can spend as little time as possible there." Raccoon says, "Oh, so this is not how you usually dress. I thought as much. Well, if this dress was good enough for meeting with me, it'll be good enough for your family dinner. Let's go." She tells him not to order her around, but Raccoon just chuckles and they head out the door and they approach his motorcycle. I'd get on the motorcycle. That sounds like a great time.
I'm sure
She's
you
like,
would.
"How am I supposed to safely? Thanks for the dig at me. I appreciate that."
I'm just saying you would like to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, but you're being a bitch about it. She's like, "How am I supposed to safely transport my cat on that thing?" Raccoon says, "Forgive me. Give him here. I will make sure he is safe and he will not be affected by the noise." She kind of side eyes him a little bit, but I mean, she couldn't help side eyeing him because she has heard all of the rumors and they made her super suspicious about him. And there's just gossip out there that was just outrageous that he could provide anything if only you sucked his cock. He served men, women, did not care how moral a request was, and he could fulfill over a dozen requests a day. How he did it, with his magic and whatever, was definitely a mystery, and people whispered about illegal or even unnatural means, but no one could say with certainty how exactly Raccoon filled the request and why he preferred to be paid in sexual favors instead of money. And honestly, this was the point that I should have been like, "Yeah, okay, I get it." But I was just living in blissful ignorance at the time. All of his clients do, by the way, keep their lips sealed. They do not explain anything. And she says, "You know what? I am sorry. I really do not think that I can do this. I will find another way." And she turns around. He goes, "Listen, hear me out. We made a deal. I promised you he would have a long and healthy life. I will not go back on my word. I never do. I will keep him safe and sound." Jennifer says, "Swear on your balls then. If something happens to him, I get to kick you in the balls as many times as I deem proper." Raccoon says, "Very well. If anything
Until
happens
it
to your
takes to
cat,"
make me feel better.
yeah, "if anything happens to your cat during this ride, you get to make my sack your personal punching bag. Would you like to cop a feel to make sure I have balls for you to kick?" And she does. And she also feels something moving inside of his pants.
No,
And
thank you. I'm out.
she's like, "Are man parts supposed to behave like this?" No, they're not, lady. No. They get everything all set to go. She puts on a helmet and they head off to her parents. At first, being on the bike had made her like, she was freaking out and she was a little queasy, but the longer she was on it, she realized it really wasn't all that. They arrived faster than she thought possible. I wonder why. And as they get off, Raccoon puts his arm around her waist and she tells him to keep his hands to himself. And he just smirks and says, I'm
I
supposed to
keep
be your
my hands
boyfriend,
to
remember?
myself.
Myself? I'm supposed to be your boyfriend, remember? Right now, your entire family is peeping through cracks in the window at the car. So give me a kiss, sweetheart, as a thank you for the fantastic ride. She tells him that the ride was the worst experience of her life, but he calls her out and says, Baby, I can feel the wet spot you left on my lower back. He tells her to remember that he is her boyfriend, and they head inside. When they get inside, Jen greets her mom, and of course, Jen retreats back into her home persona because Jen, living on her own in the city, is bold, but at home, she was quiet and anxious, which honestly, considering how her family behaves, I am literally not shocked. Her mom just says, I almost didn't recognize you. You look so. And then stops and just looks past Jennifer as if she wasn't there and just says, Come in, help yourself to a mimosa. This whole family is wild. Jen tries to introduce her boyfriend to her mom. She calls him Howard, and Raccoon's like, What the fuck? And the mom just kind of like walks away and he goes, Excuse me, first of all. And Jen just says, Remember what I told you about my family. We are freaks. My mom ignores everything and everyone that doesn't agree with what she deems respectable. Before she reaches the kitchen, she will have convinced herself that I am wearing a nice, boring dress and you don't exist. When Jen was 20, she had still lived with her parents and she had a boyfriend, and he did not have a college degree, so her mom just didn't accept him and pretended he wasn't her boyfriend. He ended up breaking up with her, saying that she was bad for his mental health. That mom is wild. They grab slippers to wear inside the house because apparently the mom waxes the floors every other week. Of course, Raccoon asks why the name Howard. And she just says, You're definitely a Howard. You know, you kind of look like one. And he says, I am nothing like a Howard. I don't behave like a Howard, and you better believe I don't fuck like a Howard. Now, where do you want me to
You
put the
want me to
cat?
show you?
They are going to put Mr. Pointy in the guest bedroom. It used to be Jen's room, but as soon as she moved out, her mom refurbished it, and now it looks fucking boring and creepy as shit. She tells Raccoon that he doesn't need to be so polite because he's like offering to do stuff. And he asks, What makes you think I was going to be polite? Jen says, Well, it's what most people do when invited to family dinner, but I guess you're not most people. Raccoon says, Damn straight. Please tell me your name because they have not exchanged names at this point. She tells him that her name is
Wild.
Jennifer and she asks for his, and he
I
says,
actually, it was so fucking
Howard.
wild that I actually didn't believe it at first, and I had to flip back, and I was like, "Are you sure?" Yep.
Mhm. And he says, Howard, which was really funny. She starts laughing, and as she's laughing, he backs her up against a wall and cages her in. And he presses his forehead to hers and takes a deep breath and tells her that, you are so lucky you're so sexy. If you weren't, I don't think I'd be able to get it up in this hideous room. Because I know. She asks what makes him think that he will need to get it up, and Raccoon says, Because you and I will fuck today, sweetheart. I am your bad boyfriend, and I will do my duty, which is to fuck you senseless and make you scream so loud even your mother won't be able to reason it away. I see you, Jennifer. I see what you need. Do you want it now or later? But like, I also think you should introduce me first. It'll make a bigger impact, which is crazy. She says, Not now, not later. You're not even my real boyfriend. Raccoon doesn't even look disappointed, and he also doesn't move back. He just smiles at her. But, she needed to be reasonable. He wasn't tested yet. She did not want to give away too much because every other man that she's brought into this house has like fucking run for the goddamn hills, which, considering her entire family, I fully would run for the goddamn hills. Raccoon says that if this is the problem, we'll just fix it right now. Will you be my real girlfriend? Although I should probably warn you that if we're going to be in a monogamous relationship, you will have to agree on one very special condition. And Jenna's like, What the fuck? And all of a sudden, they're interrupted by knocking on the door. Raccoon again did not back away, and whoever entered was going to see them pressed together, hands all over each other. Turns out it's her sister. Her sister just stops dead in her tracks when she sees them, and Raccoon says, You didn't tell me that your sister trained to be a nun.
Well, because
She
so
is
even
wearing
before he said that, the sister like crosses herself at the sight of them, and she's wearing like a pretend like mock-up
Yeah.
nun's outfit. She's
Yeah,
16.
she is. And Rose is there wearing a long brown skirt with a white blouse, modestly cut, black cardigan top, and a giant crucifix around her neck. Rose just says, are you you fucking sinners? And then like leaves. Jen says that the last time she visited, her sister was a Buddhist, and before that, she was a Wiccan. So it seems that her sister's really just trying to find something. But Jen tells him that if he was her real boyfriend, her family would scare him away, and that he has not even seen the worst of it. And it's just good that he's there for fun. Raccoon says, "Sweetheart, there's no scaring me away. The sooner you accept it, the better. But yes, I intend to have lots of fun today, starting with this." And then he kisses her. Now, listen, Jen has kissed about four men in her entire life, and it was all just underwhelming. Nothing like Raccoon's kisses. And they start getting like really into this kiss, and he slides his hands to her hips and pulls her in closer and then puts a leg between her thighs and tells her to rock on him. Jen realizes that this is not just a kiss, this is foreplay. And
Ooh,
then he
baby.
finishes kissing her and pulls back, and he just says, "I knew it was you. I had to make sure, but from the moment I saw you, I knew I am such a lucky man." Jen is understandably fucking confused.
Yeah,
I would
and
be
then I was
confused.
like, wow, we are NASCAR tracking this.
Yeah. And says, "What are you talking about?" And Raccoon says, "We will make beautiful babies." And then he heads to the bathroom. That's like, what the fuck? Like, which I would have said the exact same thing. When they're both done with the bathroom, they head downstairs, and everyone but her mom is in the living room. Her aunt Rita is sitting on a decorative chair. Her dad's down there, her brother and her sister are there too. She says hi to her dad, and of course, he says nothing. Raccoon ends up sitting in an armchair closest to Rita, and Jennifer wondered which of her crazy family members would be the last straw for Raccoon. It was always inevitable because it was always something that happens, and you hear Aunt Rita saying, "Oh, you don't need to flatter this old auntie unless you want to." Raccoon is just complimenting her, and like this Aunt Rita is like a fucking horny ass 60-year-old woman. Okay. Raccoon pulls Jen onto his lap, and he, snuggles into her head and says that he missed her. But even Jennifer knew that this is not going to discourage Rita. Apparently, this lady does not care if a man has a wife or a girlfriend. She is going to hit on this man. Of course, Rita says, "Oh, I love to see so much devotion in a young man, but I wonder if you're satisfied. You look like a man with a healthy appetite." Howard says, "You have no idea." And then again, she feels something moving underneath her. I would have noped out. Finally, Raccoon just says, "You know what? There was a time when I would fuck anyone, you included. I let all kinds of people blow me, young and old, men, women, ugly, beautiful. But those days are over. There is only one woman I want to fuck, and it will always be her."
What a comment to say to someone's aunt.
I mean, in front of her entire fucking family. Like,
Hmm.
her dad's sitting there, her brother's sitting there, everyone is sitting there. Then her brother Mark is like, "Are you talking about my sister?" Apparently, this man also fucking unhinged and has a collection of blades.
Is anyone not unhinged? She did warn him.
He has a collection of blades. He was also a devoted MMA fan. Does not fight, by the way. Definitely just say, like, he's not an MMA fighter, just watches. But he wants to have a fight. Apparently, her prom date years ago, Mark had waved a knife around and at this man Kevin, which was her date, and Kevin ran away and called Jennifer a psycho bitch, even though she is not the one that was waving the knife around. And then, before she could even think about it, in the
Is it
what
Psycho by association? It's like
case,
accessory to Psycho?
maybe. Sorry, this coffee is really good. I haven't had it before.
Is that one from Japan?
No, this is from the Korean market.
Oh,
It's an iced Americano, so it's a sweet Americano, so it's got sugar in it. But I've never had it before because I've had an Americano and that shit is fucking bitter as shit. But here's the thing, apparently Korea Americano not as bitter because it's a lot better. But I was like, I'm just gonna get sweet one. I had a vanilla one yesterday because they just come in these little pouches. I had a mango drink earlier that comes in these little pouches, and that shit was fucking
Does the
delicious.
whole drink come in the pouch or do you have to mix it?
There's no cream in it, and I'm drinking
But
it
I mean,
without
I didn't
cream.
know if it was powder or if it was the whole liquid.
No, it's liquid. I just dump it in my cup. It's only 7.7 ounces, but that is in reality correct. Anyways, in the blink of an eye, Raccoon has Mark pinned up against the wall with his arm against his throat, telling that he needs to be polite and behave and be calm because his mother is preparing a feast and he will thank their mother, and not once will he raise his voice. The mother interrupts, asking if anybody wants a mimosa, but Jen sees that she has a little bit of gratitude in her eyes. Raccoon asks if there's anything interesting to Jen's father, and he just gives a non committal grunt, then looks at Jen and says, "Let's go upstairs. I want to baste your turkey." They climb up the stairs with Rose shouting, "Sinners!" And when they get up there, Raccoon closes the door and asks if Jen needs to cry. Jen is surprised because, again, he is being super considerate. She says, "No. Do you want to leave? Like, I won't blame you." Raccoon says, "I am not leaving. It is only you from now on." And the two of them just stood there in silence because when a man you've met declares himself, just met even, declares himself devoted to you, how do you ask him if he's serious? Because he can't be. And Raccoon says, "I can hear your mind working. Shut it off. We've got things to do. We need to baste your turkey." Would you like it better if you undress yourself? Or like I can do it, I can tear your panties off with my teeth. That's your kind of thing. And this is when he realizes, because she kind of hints at it, that she is a virgin. She's a little embarrassed because like it shouldn't be a big deal, but she's nervous. Raccoon says, "It's okay. This changes nothing for me. I want you like crazy." And Jen's like, "Why all of a sudden do you want me so much? We've barely met." Raccoon says, "You're perfect for me. In other words, you have the right set of genes. We are compatible. And that makes me absolutely crazy about you."
As opposed to the right set of khakis.
That was the lamest fucking dad joke I have ever heard. Everything in my body, all of my senses, my cock, everything points at you.
The kids didn't appreciate me earlier today either when I had a group of girls who were having
It
trouble
was a
with
good joke, but bruh.
they were having trouble with fractions and whether the denominator, like which one goes on the bottom and whatever. I was like, the denominator, it's the bottom. It's like,
Girl,
yeah, they didn't enjoy me.
the denominators are demons.
But they'll probably remember it.
Probably.
Those are Dementors.
No, I'm just saying they could be demons and demons come from hell, which is underneath.
I chose not to go that route with children.
Okay. But like now you're the only one. I finally found you. Jen thinks this does not make any sense. But Raccoon says, "Listen, humans can't tell if someone's genetically compatible, but I can." He tells her that, you know what, you do deserve all the explanations, but like I am so fucking hard that it's difficult to think clearly. And he can't really explain much in his state. So he's like, we could fuck, but it isn't fair to you without explaining first. And that he knows that his dick has been all over the place, but
I
he's
mean, at least he
clean.
has that thought process first.
Yes, honestly, I respect him for that, being like, I deserve explanations for you. And at least he wasn't like, but I'll explain them later. Let's fuck now. He was trying to at least be
I felt it was
mindful.
a little contradictory to what comes next. However,
Well, I
whatever.
mean, he doesn't fuck her. Because if he's going to take her virginity, he at least wants to explain it to her first.
Right.
Nothing about the mouth. But anyways, he's like, "I'm never going to get gonorrhea, but like I just think you should know this." And then Jen offers to blow him because she has read a sex manual in preparation for this and she studied how to do a blowjob. He talks her into doing a 69.
She doesn't want all that training and the dress to go to waste.
Absolutely not. He asks her if there's anything she would like. Jen says medicine for Mr. Pointy. And Raccoon says, "He's already healed. That's why he's sleeping so much. I healed him. What would you like?" And Jen finally says, "A toaster." And he goes,
Well,
"Okay,
she
got
doesn't
it."
even like believe him, A, and B, she's like, I don't know, I don't want anything.
Like her toaster
Like,
doesn't work anymore. Like,
right,
okay,
like
toaster.
it's like asking me what I want for a holiday. I don't know. Nothing.
And now is when we get weird, folks. And then it gets weirder from here. Just wait for it. So he says, okay, sounds great. Got it. And he did not let her finish asking how he's going to do that. And he kisses her. And he's like, tongue all up in there. And then he unzips himself and says, get out. I'm sorry, this part cracked me up. He says, get on your knees, sweetheart, and daddy will get you a new toaster. I laughed. Jen laughed. Of course, Jen is like, is that
Ariel
supposed
did
to be
not laugh.
hot? Well, Jen's like, was that supposed to be hot? Because she does not think it's
I
hot.
laughed more at that.
And he goes, he's gonna learn the different ways he can speak to her that she likes. By the way, she does like to be degraded and called a slut a lot, but he's willing to learn, which we like a man who is willing to learn what she likes. She starts to blow him. She licks the pre cum off first and asks if it's supposed to taste like apple cider. Apparently, he can change the taste of his cum. So, okay, Jen's working his dick and starts to reach for his ball sack, but it is no longer the same size that it was, or the same shape. And she could sense something hard and angular. There's a fucking toaster in his ball sack. And this was when I was like, hold on a second. What?
Hold on. This is when you were like, hold on. You made it all the way through everything else. And this is when you were like, hold on.
Yeah. Then he is so close, so he steps away, turns to the side, and the next thing Jen knows, a toaster
Crystal,
flies out.
Crystal, I texted you about what the fuck when she was still in the alley taking her cat and she was going to trade it for what she was going to trade it for. That's when
Honestly,
I was like, what the fuck?
See, I think it's because we've read enough books that like something like that does not phase me, but shooting a toaster out of your dick was
It's not that it phased me necessarily. It was more like, oh my God, we're doing another one.
Yeah, yeah.
This was
And
wild.
she
And I wanted to know if it was me, I wanted to know why she didn't ask if he was in pain, if it hurt.
well,
Ethan,
because
I get he's magic, but
she was in such shock. She just asks, "What the fuck just happened?"
I mean,
Raccoon, but then
fair.
Raccoon asks, he's like, "Can it wait because it's your turn now?" Like, so maybe she didn't think he was in pain because he's like, "It can wait. Like, we'll talk about it afterwards." And Jen's like, "Honestly, can you think about something other than sex for a minute? A fucking toaster just came out of your cock."
Like, I'm not even interested right now. I'm only interested in this.
Raccoon says, "Listen, I need that pretty pussy of yours to come all over my mouth right now. I will keep seducing you until you give in and sit on my face." And she's like, "You can't really mean like sit on your face." He's like, "No, sit on my face. Like, sit on it." And he eats her out. Then after they're done, they hear a blood curdling scream coming from downstairs. And it was her mom. Apparently, her mom had a fucking breakdown. Not about the toaster thing, because she doesn't know this is going on.
There's hidden cameras in the room, not really.
Mr. Pointy is on the table
I want
eating
to
the
know where
turkey.
Mr. Pointy came from. Like the name.
I'm wondering. Oh, I do too. I have no idea. That's such an interesting name for a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. So Mr. Pointy is on the table eating the turkey, and her mom is freaking out. And honestly, Jen is so excited because like he's eating because he's healing. He's healed. Miracle. Her mom is like,
Not so
all of
much.
my hard work is ruined. I will not serve this turkey. What kind of a woman does this make me? Jen is like,
You
well,
need to calm down. You're
I know,
being
right?
too loud.
And she's like, who am I? Like, I can't not serve turkey for Thanksgiving. And Jen's like, oh shit, it's all my fault because obviously her cat ate it. And Raccoon tells the mom, listen, we will get you a new turkey. Give me like 10 minutes. It will be here. You will serve the best turkey in the entire country. I just need a pan and like
They'd
heat
never
the
made
oven.
that turkey less ate.
And he takes Jen's hand and goes to the guest bedroom. Guess how they're gonna get the turkey? She is gonna make him come so that he could come at turkey. Jen says, I can't let my family eat a turkey that comes out of your cock. And Raccoon's like, why not? They treat you like shit. I completely understand why you did not want to come here in the first place. Your family is fucked up. And frankly, I don't think they deserve my superb turkey. But since you feel responsible for this, I am going to save you. Jen makes sure it's going to be a regular turkey and like nothing super weird. And he promises her it's going to be a regular
I
turkey.
made that in my balls myself. There's no room for criticism.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's like, gonna be, has to be on her knees because he's like, listen, I have to be able to aim. We don't want the turkey to land underneath the bed or something. And she has a request. And she just says, "So like you said you can change it to taste like whatever I want. Can you change it to hot buttered rum?" Because she likes hot buttered rum better. So he's gonna do that. So that's fun. Jen asks what his actual name is, and we learn that his name is Thornton. And then she blows him. She also touches herself while blowing him. And then when she's done, the sack compresses itself and a turkey squeezes its way out of Raccoon's dick, falling into the pan. And Jen is just staring at this turkey with her mouth open because it is picture fucking perfect, by the way. And it's just entirely crazy. She's also eyeing it suspiciously. Like it looks legit. And if she hadn't known, she would have never suspected that it had been magically expelled out of a cock. Jen is still shocked. And Raccoon's like, it's fine. Okay, like,
Fine.
because he's,
Everything's fine.
well, because like, he's worried. She's like freaking out, like, about this. He's like, listen, I shouldn't have done something as big as a turkey. I know, like, that was a lot. You're not even the first girl to find this repulsive, but you look so sad. I didn't even think. And she just says, that was the most considerate and kindest thing anyone has ever done for me. And Raccoon is just so happy and says, you know what? Fuck. You're real. And I know you're real, and yet I keep expecting you to vanish. She promises that she won't, and that she is right there, and they are gonna take this turkey to the kitchen so that everyone can have turkey. Jen's gonna have a mimosa, offers Raccoon to ask her dad if he can have some scotch, but Raccoon says, I don't think so. I can't even be a bit tipsy tonight. After dinner, we are leaving here, either your place or my place. It's just better than here. Jen really does put her family in place at dinner, and she says, listen, bro, shut the fuck up. Listen, whatever your bitch name is, the sister, practice with
Rose?
Rose. Listen, Rose, practice whatever the faith you fucking want. Leave me the fuck out of it. Again, Mark, calm the fuck down. You're literally not fit to protect anyone. Rita, fucking good for you. I want to have your libido when I'm 60, but just keep your paws off my man and we'll be good. Now, are there any mimosas left? But you know what? Everyone lasted. Everyone was good. No one had to be taken away in an ambulance. No one was beating each other up. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it was definitely better than it normally was. Jen also feels the need to tell her family where this turkey came from. It just
Before
says,
they start eating.
yeah, she goes, listen, I want to say I'm thankful for my cat, who has always been my best companion. I'm thankful for Howard. He's so wonderful. Also, this turkey was made in Howard's ball sack and came out through his cock, but it's okay. Mom baked it in the oven afterwards, and I'm told like heat should have removed all traces of its penile organs. And so like, let's dig in. Happy Thanksgiving. Rose is like, so like you made food out of nothing? Is it a miracle? Like what church do you belong to? Can you teach me? And they eat the turkey and it was delicious. After the plates were mostly empty and everyone had eaten the turkey, Raccoon's hand starts to slide up Jen's inner thighs. And after a conversation between her and her sister about Jen's hobbies, Rose is like, you should get yourself a wholesome hobby like Bible study. It might help grow your spirituality. And Jen was done because obviously she's getting felt up by this man. She goes, you know what? You're right. I need spiritual help. Lots of it. Come on, let's go. Like she pulls fucking Raccoon and they go to the guest bedroom. And Raccoon says, that was literally the longest dinner of my life, but we are not going anywhere. I want you right here, right now. Jen's like, no, I am not having my first time here, and I will never, ever have sex while my cat is watching. So he's like, okay, where do you live? So they're going to leave, of course. Jen, by the way, does not have underwear on. She lost it from originally. And she says, her coochie will freeze right off. And she would ask for her panties back, but it kind of sort of feels a little icky to put them on now, and she would rather have a fresh pair. Raccoon says he has a better idea because the magic ball sack is not the only thing he inherited from his non human ancestors. And this is where it also took a wild left turn. And this is not something I had on my bingo card. Turns out he has a tail. And this is where things get interesting. She's like, oh my God, you have a tail. And she like strokes and he goes, hey, yo, just be careful. Like it's an erogenous zone. So unless you want me to bend you over right now on my bike and fuck you, let's stop this. She is going to have to ride home with the tail between her legs to keep her vagina warm. And for a while, the ride was perfect and peaceful, but then Raccoon got bored and his tail started twitching. As soon as they get back to her apartment, she goes to the apartment, reaches the keypad. Fuck, it is busted. Someone had hit it because, most of the keys were cracked and the little screen was dark and she could open it with a physical key, but she never actually carried her physical key because she always uses the keypad, which I understand because I also do not carry the physical key to my house.
Sure. But she has the key to her apartment door, so it makes no sense.
So she probably just doesn't have the outside key because if you're consistently using,
Yes, she's not using the outside, but why wouldn't you just keep those two keys together in your
I don't
purse?
know,
I know you don't keep a key because you don't tend to carry a purse around, but she has a purse.
right, but I also have a physical lock and an electric lock. I don't
Right.
ever use, and I have two keys because I have one for my regular, like the door and then the deadbolt.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I didn't carry a key for the regular door for the longest time, but I would carry the deadbolt key because whatever. But I understand the whole lack of key thing. I get it. So Raccoon tells her, "Well, we're just gonna have to make a key." And they're gonna go into an alleyway and she blows him and creates a key, which is wild. They head up to her apartment. Raccoon tells her, "Listen, I'm going to give you all those explanations that you need to hear. And I would rather tell you now. And if you still want me, I will reward you for all the time spent on your knees." And this is where it took a turn. Turns out his great grandfather was a tanuki in Japan, an actual one. And they are a Japanese species, very similar to a raccoon.
Never, ever, ever can I play Mario the same again.
I literally, again, out loud was like, "Spencer, there's a tanuki in my book. There was a tanuki in my book
I I fly in Mario
with the
as
tail."
yes, but I thought it was the tail, but they say that it's their ball sack.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know enough about the origin. I just play Mario.
well, I know that tanukis are like a type of yokai for Japan.
Hmm.
Again, Spencer was like, "Yeah, they're a yokai." I'm like, "Well, in this book, this is what happens." The Japanese call every raccoon dog a tanuki, but there's only a few magical kinds, and they can play tricks, but they're friendly. They heal animals, they can shapeshift, but he needs to make it clear that they are not animals. They are sentient and their intelligence rivals and often surpasses humans. So his great grandfather fell in love with his great grandmother and they married, had one daughter. The great grandfather had told the great grandmother that about being the tanuki, but she didn't believe him. So he changed into a tanuki and she was shocked, but then she came to terms with it. And they found uses for his special abilities. Were you good?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking it up.
You're looking up tanukis?
And their ball sacks. Like, but the myths, not real life ones.
I I don't think tanukis are real. I'm pretty sure tanuki is a tanuki an actual thing because I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it's a raccoon dog. So that's what they call raccoon dogs in their, yeah.
Got you. Okay. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Anyways,
But
so but they found a use for his
in their
special abilities.
culture, their testicles symbolize good fortune and wealth.
That tracks. Yep. So they found use for his special abilities. So his grandparents had two children, his father and then his aunt. The father didn't find out what he was until he was in his 20s. Jen's like, "How is that possible?" And Raccoon says, "Well, we're not pure Tanuki. And what my great grandpa could do with a wank, we can only achieve with external help. And my dad didn't fuck around when he was very, very focused on school and sport. Like he was very focused. And when his dad had sex with his mom for the first time, he was just like thinking, "Oh my God, I love this woman. I'm going to propose to her," thinking about the ring he was going to buy her. And the next thing you know, he comes inside of her, only it's not cum, it's a ring. And the ring gets so
It's
far
like
stuck
embedded.
up her vagina that it got embedded and they had to get it extracted from the doctors. His mother forgave the dad and agreed to marry him. And when grandma heard about it, she knew that it was oof, what it was. The great grandmother was still alive, and even though her Tanuki husband was already gone, she knew just enough to guide his father and help him manage his ability. Jen asks, "What is it exactly that you can do? Like, how does this magic work?" And he says, "Well, The package is pure magic, baby. A real mythical tanuki. They have magic ball sacks. And of course, when he was a teen, they needed to be like, they really only had to come like twice a day. But at his peak in his 20s, he needed like 10 or more a day. And that's when he started operating as Raccoon. And that's why he was trading sexual favors for wishes, basically, so he could, come. He once had a girlfriend, but she couldn't keep up, even though like he showered her with gifts. It just became too much sex. And there's a theory that they can only have children with the right girl. So he wants her to be his girlfriend for real, and he will only fuck her and be only with her and have children if she wants. And yes, she can ask for whatever she wants, provided it's not too big. Sure, he can do a roast turkey, new car, nah, but
But the
shoot,
money
money.
for a new car.
But we would also have to launder that money.
Yeah.
Jen tells him, you know what? Save your sales pitch. I am already sold. I want you. And yes, I will help you with your little problem. But
Sounds like a
he
lot of
needs,
work.
it does. But he needs to shut down the business because she's not going to share him with anyone. And he says, done. I am not sharing you either. Okay, we're done talking. Questions, concerns? None. Perfect. Let's pop your cherry. She barely has time to process the words, and he is fucking on her. And
Downtown town.
his tail is still out, and she runs her fingers down his back to the base, grabs hold of the tail, and they're just gonna get it on. He eats her out first just so he can prepare her, and then he fucks her. And when he comes, I also laughed hysterically because he ends up coming rainbow confetti. It
Yay!
says congratulations on your deflowering. I laughed so hard. And then we have an epilogue. Jennifer is chasing her cat around. So fucking funny. And Raccoon's like, the fuck is going on? Because she's also like curled up with blankets. And Jen says she just got her period and the idiot cat refuses to be her hot water bottle and it hurts and she needs something for her to cuddle and a gallon of hot chocolate. And he says that his tail will be her hot water bottle, but he doesn't know what to do about the chocolate part. He's like, I could run to the shop. And Jen says, no, I know what I want. Make me some of that delicious hot buttered rum with whipped cream. So yeah, that happens. And the taste was orgasmic. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh boy. Well, you know,
I just thought that the description was funny and I did not expect anything that this book took.
yeah,
I oh god. Okay, so
it's something.
who's your favorite
It's
character?
something. The cat
Yeah. I liked the cat. Honestly though, like I did like Raccoon. I kind of loved him.
was wild.
He everything about this was wild.
That was true. Who was your least favorite character?
Her entire family. Aunt Rita needs to keep it in her damn pants. Stop going after married men, taken men. How about you?
Yeah, that was pretty shitty. Pretty skeezy.
Fab. Amazon gives us a 4.2 and Goodreads a 3.8. Where are you at?
I rated it 3 stars.
I also am going to give it a 3 star. I had a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, I just saw
This
the
shit
stuff by the Were Turkey.
that was originally on my list.
I
I
know,
almost picked that one.
but it's readers also enjoyed. I just saw the cover. Good
Oh,
lord.
yes. I
Such low ratings too.
yeah, it's not great.
Cucumber.
Oh god. I don't even know because this is
How do
some
you
weird ass
rate
sex.
how do you rate a turkey coming out of a dick?
How do you rate a turkey coming out of a dick?
A
A toaster coming
toaster?
out of a dick?
Okay, I'll give it a
There's
4
a
for
lot of
creativity.
honestly, I was gonna give it like a 4.5 for fucking creativity because that shit was creative as fuck. Like that is
Survivability, I think I would
I would be
survive,
fine.
but I definitely think I would have turned back the second I felt his ball sack moving.
Okay, here's the thing though, but imagine all the things that you could get.
Yeah, be a
You
lot of
gotta
work
look at
though.
it. Yeah, but you know,
So, at the risk of Crystal being mad at me, this episode comes out the Monday before Election Day for the United States. I just want to say that I hope that everyone gets out and votes tomorrow and does your civic duty if you are in the United States as a United States citizen. Do not think that either way that things are, oh, it's fine, this person will win, or that, oh, it's fine, this person will win. Having that mentality is the highest privilege that you literally cannot afford, and that is not okay. That's basically saying you're not affected by anything, and unless you are a 1% white man, you are affected in this election. So I just urge you to please make sure you vote. That's all I want to say. Do your thing. And to whoever had an issue with us saying it last time, saying vote if you love women, I'm sorry you were offended by that, but I'm really not sorry because you should vote if you love women. You should vote if you love anyone. It's your civic
And
duty.
yeah, and again, like we will say like little things here and there. We don't push our personal thoughts onto everybody
It's not a
because
secret though.
clear it's not a secret, but this is literally a podcast about books. This
And
is
we
not
are women. I don't like, sorry.
and it's our own opinion.
And
So
we have
like
children.
everybody is entitled to their own opinion. You can vote how you want to vote, but the
That's what
most
I'm saying. But
important
the most important thing is that you do vote. I've
is
heard
that you
some
do
people
vote.
say they're not going to because they don't need to. That to me is
You
the
don't get
most privileged thing you can say, and it's not cool.
And honestly, if you don't vote, so you should always, if you're of age, clearly, and again, as Ariel said, in the United States, we will both be voting. The thing is like the way I look at it, if you do not vote, you cannot complain with how things go.
Hmm.
And because you didn't do anything to change it. You know what I mean? So, like,
And even if the whole presidential thing is not really your vibe, honestly, some of the most important votes right now are lower than that.
and yeah, they're local,
So
like
you really need to be
local
voting
government.
local regardless. So with that piece, with that, just because it's right now, right here, we're worried, you know, who knows? Maybe we won't have a Friday. We'll find out. Hopefully we'll see you guys on Friday with our next episode. But
We won't have a
hopefully,
Friday. What the fuck is gonna happen? Are we dying?
I mean, who knows what is going to happen? I've seen
No matter
some
the, I
things
mean,
being
no
put in
matter the,
place,
well,
you know. It has concerns risen. Anywho, either way, wherever you are, whether it's a bunker or your house, make sure that you keep reading.
and keep it smutty.
Can you say
Business here.
balk one more time? Yeah, it just sounds funny.
Balk. It's balk. B-A-L-K.
I understand what the word is. It just sounded funny for a second.
You get no opinions right now because you can't even function. So
I swear it
please.
sounds like you're saying balk, like you're a chicken.
I'm just pronouncing all of the letters. Introduce her as his boyfriend. Why did I write as his boyfriend? If anything happens to your cat during this ride, you get to make my sack your personal punching bag.
City lights start to shimmer, nights go brighter, not